Joining us now on the phone to talk more about the manhunt is retired FBI profiler Mary Ellen O'Toole. Thanks for being with us.
Sure.
So what should investigators be looking for?
Well, right now they're looking for any information that would identify these three individuals. And the way they would be approaching it is this. That shooting of the officer was very likely not planned. He interrupted something going on. So what they want to do is really appeal to the weak link. All three of those individuals would not have been equally committed to killing a police officer. And when you have something like that occur within a group of three people, they would have started to fight. There would have been dissension among the three. Hey, why did you do that? Now look what you've caused. So that dissension between those three is really going to work to the advantage of law enforcement, because what started out maybe as a much more of a minor crime has now turned into an incredibly egregious crime for which they're all responsible. But it's the weak link that law enforcement will be appealing to.
That's fascinating. And Mary Ellen, you've spent so much time dealing with the criminal mindset. Some people are wondering, perhaps, could they have blended back into the community? Others are wondering if they could really be just sort of long gone from the scene of the crime. What is your take?
They could certainly attempt to blend in, but again, this crime went out of control for them. So they're going to have that sense of, we got to get out of here. They're very nervous, they're very distressed, they're very concerned. So that's not going to be easy for them to mask. So I think with that, they will eventually surface, and probably sooner rather than later. Can they truly blend back in? I don't think so, especially if they do attempt. They're in an area right now where they have to hunker down. This may not be their area, and so they're relying on places and people that they may not even know. But their friends and relatives, truthfully, they don't want to associate with this crime of killing a police officer. So people will, once they figure out this was my cousin, my next-door neighbor, they will be calling in, because if you harbor a fugitive, you can be in as much trouble as they are.
I was surprised earlier listening to a press conference and listening to the police chief, and there was a question as to whether or not there was any kind of dash cam video available, and the chief saying that that was something that they were looking into. It made me wonder if sometimes the police, obviously many times the police, withhold certain information because they don't want the suspects to know what they're looking at. There was another question as to whether or not, in taking some of the items from the officer's body, that perhaps there were some fingerprints that they were looking into, and they didn't seem to be answering any questions about that. Is that something you see as common?
They certainly could, because once the information, if it's about forensics or if it's about what's on the camera, once that's out there in the media, they have no control over it. Right now, they want to control that information. So if they want to go out, let's say they've identified somebody through fingerprints, they want to go out and get immediately to that person's family and support system, interview them, find out what this person is all about. But if they release that information, more than likely the media will get to the family before they can. And the same with the camera. They need to know what's on that camera and what it means, what it implies. If they release it, it goes to the media, and they could ultimately lose this offender. He could even go even deeper into hiding.
Fascinating insight from Mary Ellen O'Toole, former FBI profiler. Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome.